Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Saturday, January 2nd. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Saturday so far, and that you all have a wonderful weekend ahead. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the second stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $2,000 direct payments, Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley's continue to push to get them passed, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so we might be in a new year, but lawmakers are still fighting over the increase to $2,000 in direct payments. Once again, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer attempted to set up a vote on the bill that would increase the direct payments from $600 up to $2,000. In a statement on the floor, Schumer said, "I'll ask consent for the final time that the Senate set a time for a vote on the House bill to provide $2,000 checks. I've done it every day this week. This is it, the last chance for the 116th Congress to pass $2,000 checks and to say to regular Americans that help is on the way. Let's have a vote." Since yesterday was the last chance for the Senate to take up and pass the House bill to increase the direct payments. It was their last chance to get it done before the next session of Congress takes over on Sunday. However, as expected, Republican Senator John Thune objected, saying the proposal is a shotgun approach and that if they really want to help people out who need the money the most, they should try to make it more targeted. Most Republicans argue that this money is going to people who have kept their jobs during this time and are financially stable. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell even called it socialism for rich people. Since there was an objection, as expected, they were unable to get anything done, as it only requires one senator to object to block a request by unanimous consent. Later on in the day, Bernie Sanders pleaded with the Senate to hold a vote on the House bill. Sanders, in an attempt to be reasonable, said they could hold a vote on McConnell's bill and the standalone bill passed by the House. McConnell's bill, of course, was the one that included an increase of direct payments up to $2,000, repealed Section 230, and created a commission to study voter fraud. Sanders wanted the Senate to vote on both bills in an attempt to allow both of them to pass. Republican Senator Josh Hawley then took the floor in an attempt to get the increase in direct payments approved as well. Hawley said, "In all due respect, this doesn't seem to be a Republican versus Democrats issue. This seems to be the Senate versus the United States of America, and I just don't understand it." Hawley said we're in the worst pandemic in a century, and all that they're asking for is that working Americans be the first in line for relief, meaningful relief. Hawley said that even though there's a lot of talk about how we can't afford these extra relief payments, we can still afford to send hundreds of billions of dollars on pork. But we can't seem to find the money for relief for working people that the President, the House, and the Senate all support. We just cannot seem to get a vote on the bill. Josh Hawley is correct with this. We have the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, in support of the bill. 2/3 of the House supports it, a good chunk of the Senate supports it, and the sitting President of the United States for months has supported the increase of direct payments. Yet we have one man, Mitch McConnell, along with some other senators, holding it up for everyone. Hawley then shared some stories that we're all familiar with, including one woman in his home state who is donating plasma in order to receive enough money to pay for groceries. To this though, despite bipartisan pleas to get a vote, John Cornyn objected once again, blocking the bill from passing. Cornyn said his reason for objecting was that Senator Toomey was delayed coming to the floor, so on his behalf, he objected. Disappointing, but not incredibly surprising. Angered by this, Donald Trump sent out a tweet saying our Republican Senate just missed the opportunity to get rid of Section 230, which gives unlimited power to big tech companies. Pathetic. Now they want to give people ravaged by the China virus $600 rather than the $2,000 which they so desperately need. Not fair or smart. In another tweet by Trump, he urged the current governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, to challenge the number 2 sitting Republican Senator John Thune in the next primaries. Thune, along with other Republicans such as McConnell, have recently been facing a lot of heat from Trump, who believes they are stabbing him in the back by not fighting the election results. Thune believes Trump and other Republicans should face the music on the election results and it's time for everyone to move on. Of course, being that Thune was also one of the ones opposing the increase in direct payments, that was enough reason for Trump to be upset as well. In the end, even though Trump was a Republican president, he's shown time and time again he's willing to go against other Republicans if he felt they weren't getting things done or that they weren't showing him enough support. So, with this bill being blocked from passing, we have to hope the next session of Congress can come in and get things done. In the meantime, if you have the time, I'd highly encourage everyone to reach out to your state senators, letting them know just how important an increase in these direct payments would be for you and your family. Even though one email or one phone call may not make a huge difference, in numbers, we can definitely make a change. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from Dina. Dina says, Josh, please answer this. How is it that Mitch has power over Trump? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and honestly, he really doesn't. There are certain things that President Trump can do and cannot do, just like there are certain things that McConnell can and cannot do as well. In this case, President Trump is unable to legally issue an executive order for the $2,000 direct payments. For this to happen, they must pass a bill through both chambers in Congress, and then at that point, President Trump can sign off on it. Since the bill has already passed the House, it's up to the majority leader, which happens to be Mitch McConnell, whether or not it's brought to the floor for a vote. President Trump can't force Mitch McConnell to vote or pass any bill that's in the Senate, just like Mitch McConnell can't force President Trump to do anything either. So they both have a lot of power, but just in different ways. And that's the way it was set up, so it wouldn't just have one branch that had more powers than the other. If, say, we had an executive branch much more powerful than the legislative branch, then we could have a president that does whatever he wants without first having congressional approval. Okay, moving right along to the next question of today's video, which is from Chakeem. Chakeem says, how do I change my banking information? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and unfortunately, at this point in time, you cannot. The only way you'd be able to update your bank account information is through the payment portal, and at the moment, the payment portal is currently not available. Hopefully, within the next few days, the IRS will have it up and working once again, but until then, there's not much you can do. If you've changed bank accounts since you received your first direct payment, then what will most likely happen is the IRS will attempt to send the payment to your old bank account. At that point, since that account is currently closed, the bank will reject the payment and send it back to the IRS, where they'll then have to reprocess your payment and send you a check in the mail instead. If, for whatever reason, you don't end up receiving a check in the mail by the middle of January, then I would strongly recommend that you go ahead and claim a $600 credit on your tax returns in order to receive your money. Okay, moving right along to the next comment of today's video, which is from Victoria. Victoria says, my brother filed for his stimulus and never received his payment. He was eligible for the payment. Okay, thank you so much for your comment, Victoria, and I'm so sorry that your brother still never ended up receiving his first stimulus payment. In this case, since you say that he is definitely eligible to receive it, my best guess is that the IRS simply doesn't have his information on file. If he hasn't filed a tax return within the last 2 years, for example, then the IRS would have the ability to determine whether or not he's eligible or where to send his payment. The IRS made a requirement for those who haven't filed a tax return within the last 2 years to fill out the non-filers tool by November 21st in order to receive their payment this year. Since that deadline has already passed, at this point, there's really not much your brother can do other than to claim the direct payments he never received on his tax returns. So since he's missed out on $1,200 from the first round, plus an additional $600 from the second round, he can claim $1,800 on his tax returns this year. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free stocks from Webull, with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means that you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of the referral links, such as Nike, for $20, which would be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.